Hi collective, welcome to part one of Sasha's video. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Sasha is the second stage of or the second personality, I should say, I suppose. She is the second stage because obviously in life we go through stages, don't we? We're a baby, an infant, stroke toddler, then we become like an adolescent, etc. These are stages. Okay, so Sasha is the second stage of my evolution. I'm going to call it. It's evolution. She is feisty. She's also represents my masculine energy. Okay, so she's the badass motherfucker. Okay, she's the gangster in the group. She don't take no shit. Okay, she's feisty. She's fierce. She's on it. You know what I mean? She's reg. She's very direct. You either love her or you hate her. It's a marmite situation with Sasha, okay? I love her to bits and pieces. Don't get me wrong. Fucking hell, she's got us all into some hot water. But you know what? That's me. You know what I mean? That's me. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a lioness. I will fight for it. And if I feel disrespected, I will deal with that accordingly. In fact, I would deal with that 10 times more than what it made me feel like. By the time I'm done with the person wished they'd even opened up their fucking mouth. Okay, she's snappy. I'm very impatient. Okay, it is what it is, So um my background with Sasha is that Astray, as a child exuberated a lot of feminine essence, a lot of sexual energy, and she always has done. I think, to be honest, when I look at the women in my family, I think it comes down through the generations. To be think, I'm definitely not the only one. Okay, we're just sexy women. Let's put it that way. Enough of us have sexy energy. Do you know what I mean? We know how to carry ourselves, but it's more than that. You could be in a jeans and jumper. There's just something. My mom, I used to watch her in awe when I was a kid. Her getting ready to go out, and trust me, every weekend she got on the road. You know what I mean? She used to have to sit in the hairdressers for like 10 hours while she got her hair coloured or styled or whatever. And I'm talking every fucking Saturday, mind you. You know, that woman knew how to take care of herself. No food in the house, but she looked good. And her clothes, she used to get one-off designs from America. So I used to go around to this woman's house who used to import these clothes and watch my mum select and then pay down for them every week. Like a part of the scheme, you get what I'm saying? Mad thing, innit? But that's ghetto life. Um so so yeah, so I watched my mum in awe, you know. I used to love watching her put on her seven denier tights or fishnet tights or stockings and watch her do up her suspender belt. And my mum's always had a good figure. Me and my mum could wear the same clothes. She's always had a good figure. She's always looked after herself, and she's always been young looking. So my mum is the second oldest child, okay, but she's definitely the oldest sister out of five children. Okay, so the oldest is a boy, and then there are four girls, and she's the second oldest, like I said. So all of her younger sisters, the three that follow her, are big women. Do like when they say mampy, yeah, they say mampy, they're big women. But don't get it twisted, My aunties will back it up and twerk. You get what I'm trying to say? I got one auntie, my auntie B. Don't rap with her, you know what I mean? She's one of the biggest one, but she's sexy in the fuck, you know what I'm saying? So I love them. I do. Like I said, the women in my family are confident. And yeah, so my mum's, even though she's the oldest, she's always been the smallest. But she's the feistiest, So I've watched a lot of her growing up. So probably that's probably where I, Sasha, get most of it from. My mum. Because my mum don't fuck. She don't care. You know what I mean? Enough people stay away from her because her in a non-judgmental way now, because it's just about observation, isn't it? Because I see myself in her. I am her reflection. Okay. So to judge her would be to judge myself, and I don't self-harm myself. So I'm not gonna self-harm her. But she is because she stands so firm in her masculine energy, it's received as toxic energy. So people tend to stay away from from her, including myself, to be fair, because I'm just like, whoa, I see you, I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? And you can't, you know, it's not my, I used to think it was my job to save her and everybody else, but I recognize that's not my job. So, Sasha seen a lot of ashtrays trauma about being a child, and also Sasha was I was a child too. Um, and men looking at me, you know, and women feeling intimidated by me. Imagine I'm a 9-year-old girl and women are acting intimidated by me. You know, how can you be intimidated by a 9-year-old? You know, but you actually can, I guess. You know, because it's not about the age, it's about the spirit within. And I think I've always been a high priestess from the day I was born. So it didn't matter that I was free. I'm free and I'm winding up my neck. You know what I mean? And I'm sticking out my bottom, saying, come and smack me there, come and smack me there with my face this out. Do you know what I mean? Because I've, you know, maybe I was, you know, it's true. I've embarked on this energy for a long time. I'm familiar with the high priestess within me, even though I've never let it out. So I guess what I'm saying is that these women or these people around me felt that energy. Said they weren't looking at me as a 9-year-old child. Or maybe that's what was confusing to them. How can a 9-year-old child make me feel so insecure? You know, I don't know. I haven't had that conversation with those people yet. And maybe that's another video in the future. Um, but yeah, so I found that women were really, really aggressive and negative towards me. And men tried to put me in a lot of dangerous situations, okay, sexually. Okay, so men are picking up on the energy and responding in a way that is so inappropriate. And women are picking up on energy, and maybe some of them are picking up on the energy of their men, to be fair. And they're acting, I'm going to say inappropriately towards me because I honestly deem it to be inappropriate, although I'm coming to understand it. Okay. So, and the reason why I'm coming to understand it is because I've been forced into it with my own girl children. You know, I've got 5 children and 2 of them are girls. One is now just become a teenager and the other one is 5. And they're sexy. They're sexy. I swear to God. And I struggle till I cry, man. Because especially my oldest, I mean, from she was 5, she was shaped like me. She had curves, she had an hourglass, she had a curvy waistline, she got a piece of batty on her thighs, everything. You know, she looked like a little woman, and me and her would be in the bed sometimes, and we looked like the same person. I'm like, what is going on? And then my second daughter has come along, and she's the same, one piece of batty on her. She's 5, and I have to buy her 9 to 10-year-old clothes. Okay, these are what these girls look like. My 13-year-old is taller than me, a bigger shoe, bigger breast size, you name it. So I've this has been traumatic for me because, as you can imagine, again, I talked about Rosa in my first video. As a mum, she's a lioness. You know, she wants to protect her family. So imagine feeling like flipping out. Big men are going to be looking at my girl Pitney and trying to put my girl Pitney through what they put me through. So I'm like, little girl, you're not wearing that. You're not wearing that top. You're not wearing. And I've struggled because actually her body size from the age of 11 couldn't fit into little girl clothes. I couldn't shop for her in children's shops. From the age 11, I had to go to big women's shops, okay, and buy her size 10 at 11, size 10 and size 12. By the time she was, in fact, probably by the time she was 11, she couldn't fit into my clothes anymore. You know, couldn't fit into my clothes, couldn't fit into my shoes. And I found the whole experience traumatizing because I was just like, what the fuck, I can't protect her. So because I couldn't protect her, I think my energy lashed out at her. So simple things like the school play, and she's sitting down there. You know, little girls or just kids in it. They got their school skirt on, and they don't sit properly, do they? Their legs are open, and I'm standing up there. I'm in the crowd looking at it, going like this, because that's the scissor side for shut your fucking legs. You know what I mean? And this little girl's paying no attention to the scissor side, and the legs just tear out. And the Christmas pantomime show is being videoed, and I'm on one. I am. Do you know what I mean? There's my little girl, and I can see her underwear, clean, fresh, whatever. I bathed her in the morning, but I can see her underwear, and I don't like the thought that other people can see that underwear because that's private. Do you know what I mean? And not only that, you don't know what someone's mindset is, so therefore you don't know what they're thinking, and I don't want anybody thinking about my babies like that. You know, so I'm mad. I can't be mad with the video, man, because it's not his fault. So I'm lashing out at her. So I've traumatized her, straight up. I've traumatized her. And when she was younger, I'd be like, what you doing that for? You know what I'm saying? What's your name? Jezebel. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even funny, but both of my daughters are very familiar with the terminology Jezebel because it's something that I fling at them anytime they're doing something that triggers me. I'm coming to realize that actually it's me. I'm being triggered. I need to figure that out and know that I have created an environment that my children are protected. They are safe. You know what I mean? They are safe. So, their story is not my story. So therefore, I can't continue to parent them from a place of trauma because I'm just traumatizing them. So I'm getting there. Okay. This week, I have come to terms with the fact that my 13-year-old is a very sexy 13-year-old. And don't get it twisted. When I say, a sexy 13-year-old, I'm quite aware that I am talking about a 13-year-old girl. Okay. I'm also aware that my 13-year-old girl wears a 16 to 18 women's clothes, and I have just bought her a bra size. I think it was a G. Okay. So we're not talking about no little, skinny, flimsy, dibby 13-year-old. Okay. I'm talking about a 13-year-old girl that is being presented to me as a big woman. And not only a big woman, she's bigger than me. I have to look up to her. I have to look up to her, and she's wider than me. She's in a bigger shoe, so she's not she's not presenting, and it's deliberate. This is these are the kind of things that the universe likes to do, isn't it? They like to give you situations that trigger you. So obviously, I've been triggered by this little girl, but again, I'm learning to accept and understand that actually she's not me. She hasn't been subjected to the traumas that I've been subjected to. And actually, she's allowed to be beautiful. She can spread her wings and be the summer butterfly that she is, because that's the name I've named her from a baby, summer butterfly. And she can spread her wings because this is a safe environment. You know what I mean? Sasha, I know, okay? Sasha knows. I will murder, okay? I will murder. I will kill for my kids. Does that make sense? They're my heartbeat, period. I'm also learning that actually they're not. They actually come through us, not from us, and they actually have nothing to do with me. They actually belong to the divine, not me. But again, that's something that I'm recently coming to terms with. So yeah, so Sasha, she's gone through a lot of those kind of traumas, which has meant that she has gone into defense mode because everything has just felt like an attack. Regardless, it's all just felt like an attack. Attack from women, attack from girls. I understand that my energy triggers insecurities in other people. Okay, whether that be they perceive me as competition because I'm pretty, or I look a particular way, or whatever it is, or my energy or my confidence. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. It could be all of it. It could be the sound of my fucking voice, for all I know. But I know that I trigger a lot of females. I trigger a lot of insecurities in men too. When Sasha comes out, her masculine energy likes to challenge men. I'm not interested in the women. I don't go out my way to challenge women. I'm not interested in them. That don't feel like a challenge for me. Men are the challenge. I want to be Johnny Big Bollocks. So I'm going in there and I'm mashing it up. I'm running that business, I'm running that company. If there's a race, I'm winning it. If I'm in the gym, I'm lifting heavier than you. Do you know what I mean? I like to compete against men. So throughout my life, I've been called some things, I've been called like a ball breaker. I've been called whatever. Do you know what I mean? I've just been called names. And that's a representation of how dominant my masculine energy is. Okay, so I'm at the moment going through a transformation where I'm moving out of this masculine dominant energy. And the way that I'm doing that is by giving myself something to do energetically. I realize that I've got more masculine energy when I haven't actually done anything physical. And when I look at it, it makes so much sense because obviously I've got 3 boys, and boys will mash up your house if you don't do something with them because they need to release it. They need to run up and down, they need to jump, or they need to fight, or they need to do something. That's men. My boys are in their 20s now, and their dads still act, my boys' dads, my older boys' dad, act the same way. They're always fighting and rumbling and doing stupid stuff, you know. And men, you'll find that they, you know, deliberately cause fights in pubs, or there are football hooligans that deliberately set up events for them to all meet in a park somewhere just to kick the fucking shit out of each other because they just need to get rid of that energy. Or mans, we put that energy into the gym, or they put it into running, or they put it into something. But there just needs to be an energy exchange. The body needs to release it. And that's what I've come to understand about my masculine side, Sasha. She's my masculine, my divine masculine. So last night, I started dance. I used to love dancing. So this is something that I'm finding very easy. Last night I was triggered. I went along with a friend of mine that's also a dance teacher. You know, I used to be a dance teacher back in the days too, for those of you that don't know that. And you know, the steps were coming. And I'm thinking, what the fuck, man? You know, your legs going that way. What it was basically is I'm watching the routine through the mirror, and the mirror is showing me the opposite foot to where I need to go to. So what I needed to do was watch the woman in front of me and stop looking on the mirror. You know what I mean? And once I did that, it all made sense. But before that, I was like, what the fuck? And then my friend's like, oh, it's this way. I should put your foot there. And inside, I'm angry. Don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. Get the fuck out my way. Do you know what I'm saying? I got this. I'm being triggered. And I'm like, I should calm down. And she knows I'm being triggered because she's a spiritual fucking motherfucker herself. And she's looking at me going, oh. And I'm like, yo, I got this. I got it. I'm going to get it. Do you know what I'm saying? And I did. I stuck with it and I got it. And I just had to breathe it out. And I just, you know, again, like I said, I don't self-harm myself. You're not a bad person because you was triggered in dance, Asha. You're just a person that was triggered. And as long as you stand in truth, that's cool. So at the end of the session when we were driving home, we were talking about it. I was like, yo, Dig, I was triggered, you know. And she goes, I know. I could see that you was triggered. I could see you was getting pissed. And I said, yeah, but you know, I'm good. I said, at the end of the day, it's all experience, isn't it? So, you know, we we agreed on that. So yeah, so Sasha, I have now an outlet for myself, and that is dance. And I love dance. I'm very, you know, I'm all about that. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. So I'm gonna be posting the journey of me dancing and going on with myself. Okay, I'm gonna be doing it on. I'm gonna post videos on YouTube, and I'm also gonna post videos on Instagram and TikTok of me on this dancing journey. Okay, so we're gonna see where that ends up and blah blah blah. But the purpose of it, to be fair, is just about releasing energy, getting rid of masculine energy. Okay, so that my other personalities can flourish, and you know, Sasha can just sit back and just know that, you know, when they need me, I'm there. You know, when somebody's going on with themselves, I got ya. But if everybody's calm and everything's nice and I don't have to worry about that side, then I definitely need something to do. And dance just happens to be it. Okay, so love and light collective. Until next time.